I've going to be a little challenge for some people. All the objects I picked, I were listed as viewable through binoculars or a small scope. Starting off with the June solstice is going to be on the 22nd at 10:54 in the morning. And here are the phases of the moon during the month, I mean. So let's start off with some conjunctions. I'm not going to go through, I have some other ones. So we'll do the moon here. So we have the moon and Jupiter. They'll be closest on June 14th. And we have the moon and Mercury. It's going to be on the 16th. We have the moon and Venus will be on the 21st, and the moon and Mars will be on the 22nd. Other conjunctions may be of more interest. Mars is passing through the Beehive cluster, or sorry, this is an old one. It already went through the Beehive cluster a couple of days ago. So I guess it might still be near it. So let's skip that one. Okay, so on the 21st, it's a notable date because it marks the solstice. It's also the first day of summer, the first day of winter in the southern hemisphere. The solstice will feature a waxing crescent glowing next to a brilliant Venus, a much dimmer Mars nearby. Above them will be the bright star Regulus in Leo, and below them will be the twin stars of Castor and Pollux. Look for them in the west shortly after sunset. Hopefully we won't have smoke by then. Next, we have Mercury coming off its greatest elongation. We continue to brighten throughout mid-month. However, it's best viewed from the southern hemisphere since it remains low in the horizon. Start looking for it about 30 to 40 minutes before sunrise. Most of you might find it very low in the horizon, a waning crescent moon on the 16th. It'll disappear from the sky later in June on its way to superior conjunction with the sun on July 1st. It will lie near the lovely Pleiades star cluster in the bright morning twilight. I have a slide of that later. Everybody can read the date and the times on these?
Yes, looks good.
Okay. So follow that by Venus and Mars are about to get close. On June 1st, and I'll show you a little video later, they'll be about 10 degrees apart, and by month's end, they'll be less than 4 degrees. So look for the two worlds in the west after sunset. You'll surely see Venus. It's the brightest thing in the western sky, brighter than all the other objects except the sun and the moon. It reached its greatest elongation, 45 degrees from the sun on the 4th. But don't miss it again through the Beehive cluster, which is going to be on the 12th through the 13th. So that might be a nice image to look at or photograph. Again, should be viewable. Well, that's going to be viewable through naked eye. And here's a little video I created of Venus catching up to Mars. And as you can see, the dates going by at the top. And there's the moon, and it's off and running.
Oh.
We have the daytime Iridid meteor shower. It will be active. Well, it was active from the 14th through the 24th, but it will peak around the 11th. Over this period, there will be a chance of seeing daytime Iridid, am I saying that correctly? Meteors. When the shower's radiant point in the constellation Aries is above the horizon with the number of visible meteors increasing higher, the radiant point is in the sky. From here, the shower will not be visible until around 3 a.m. each night when its radiant point rises above the eastern horizon, and will remain active until dawn, which breaks around 4:45. Around 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, the shower is likely to produce the best display, but obviously we're not going to see it. But at the time we were able to see it, it will be optimal to look towards the incoming meteors, maximizing the number of rain vertically downwards, producing short trails close to the radiant point. Other times there will be fewer meteors burning up over our location, and they will tend to enter the atmosphere at a more oblique angle, producing long-lived meteors. However, the zenith hourly rate is calculated assuming perfectly dark sky and the radiant and the shower is situated directly overhead. In practice, any real observing will fall short of these ideals, considering the number of meteors you're likely to see is thus lower. So they're estimating from here, a radiant shower will appear at about 17 degrees above the horizon. And we estimate that you will only likely see only around 15 meteors per hour at the peak. And since it's relatively low in the sky, the peak also close to a new moon. So there may be hopefully minimal interference. So it might be a good opportunity for some early morning viewing.
Steve, how bright the meteor's supposed to be? It's supposed to be at least brighter than Venus in order to see in daylight.
Well, again, 3 a.m., the optimal time when it rises, it's going to be around 3 in the morning. So the sun won't have risen yet. Its peak will be during the daylight. So we're not going to see its peak time, but it's going to be close enough to peak at 3 that hopefully if you're out there at that time, you should be able to see. So let's proceed. We have some deep sky objects that I think may have been of interest. We have Messier 81, known as the Bode's Galaxy. It's a spiral galaxy in the constellation Ursa Major. It is one of the brightest galaxies in our night sky as seen here on Earth. I don't know where else you would see it, but that's what it said. The size and well-defined spiral arms make it an enjoyable sight through almost any telescope or even a pair of binoculars. A telescope with an aperture of 8 inches or more will show more detail under dark skies. So again, not really showing you where it is. So I made this little slide, give you a better idea of where to look for it in the night sky. So up over here, and you see my arrow, my mouse?
We don't.
You don't. Okay, so let's do this.
We see the slide and the brackets around it,
okay.
but the cursor is not. There you go.
Now you should. All right. So yes, there's a little laser pointer. So I'm showing a red laser, which is a no-no. So there are no planes flying overhead. We can go ahead and do that. So again, somewhat equidistant off in the corner. So if you're looking for it and you don't have a go-to scope, it would be pretty easy to see. Again, I picked some objects that hopefully are both photographable and visual as well.
Steve, can I make a comment here?
Yes, go ahead.
This is a killer to see these two galaxies, 81 and 82. And the way that I do it, can you put your laser on the lower part of the bucket of the Big Dipper? Okay,
Here?
go up to the top stars of the Big Dipper that make up the bucket. Keep going up.
Okay.
Okay, well, now over to the left. That star. Okay, so I
Right.
draw a line from that star in the direction of the galaxy, sort of from that star
Good.
to the bright star, that one. And using a telrad, I kind of estimate that. And the interesting thing is it's not an exact straight line. It's like you go down about the same distance between
Right.
those two Dipper stars, but then you want to be a little bit to the right. So that's the best thing that I've been able to come up with, and I find them generally, but it's with a low power eyepiece, and I spend a lot of time chimping around, but I haven't found any other way. There aren't any other bright stars around that you can use as additional guide, but that kind of works from the top, Dipper star to the next one,
Sure.
and then about the same distance, and then make it curve a little bit, and you'll be in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Thanks.
No, anytime. And here's a drawing of what you might expect it would look at if you were visually observing with, I guess, a somewhat decent telescope.
And dark skies.
And dark skies. Yes. So
It's
our
pretty
next
exciting. It's pretty exciting to see it. I remember the first time I saw it over my house, but it was in 1989. And to have two galaxies that are different in the same eyepiece, I mean, it's really something to see, but we need to be out east or somewhere else.
next object, Messier 62. It's a globular cluster. It's got a magnitude of 6.5. Okay, it will be well placed this month. On the 7th, it will reach its highest point. So that's tonight around midnight. And on subsequent evenings, it'll culminate 4 minutes earlier. So now would be a good time. Well, now would not be a good time to go out. However, it's not readily observable since it's so far south it never rises more than 19 degrees above the horizon. So again, I'm not giving you some easy targets, but you got a good southerly view, a good chance of seeing it. Its declination is 30 degrees, 6 minutes. It's the easiest to see from the sun sky, but not much more latitude than where we are. So we're probably the highest up you can go, maybe a little bit farther north. The magnitude, like I said, 6.4. It's quite faint, but again, should be visible through a pair of binoculars or a small scope.
Yeah, it doesn't go higher than 20 degrees above the southern horizon.
Right. So again, one of these nice targets to go look for that not normally be able to see. So like I said, I didn't pick the stuff that was like way overhead. Just to challenge some of you. I know some of you will probably be out there trying to catch a glimpse of these things. And here's somebody's drawing of what it might look like. So you have Ptolemy's cluster, or Messier 7. It's next on the list. It contains about 80 stars with the magnitudes ranging from 6 to 10 within an area of 1.3 degrees across an apparent diameter corresponding to a linear diameter of 25 light years. It spans 40 light years, and the stars within it can't be pulled away from the cluster by gravitational influence of the Milky Way. That's how tightly bound that they are. And it's believed to be about 220 million years old, and it's combined to 730 times that. Its mass is 730 times that of the sun, and it's approaching us at approximately 14 kilometers per second. I don't know if we should be worried about that. The bright star in the sounds pretty fast to me. Bright star in the cluster is a yellow G8 type giant with an apparent magnitude of 5.6. Across most of the world, Ptolemy's cluster in Scorpius will be well placed in the evening sky in the coming weeks. On the 20th, it will reach its highest point in the sky around midnight, and again, will culminate 4 minutes earlier each day. It's not readily observable. It lies so far south, so it will be no more than 14 degrees above the horizon. And here's an illustration that you might see it under dark skies or a good telescope. Next, we come to the butterfly cluster. It's an open star cluster. It's got a relative magnitude of 4.3 in Scorpius. On the 17th, it will reach its highest point in the sky around midnight again. And again, every day after, it's going to culminate 4 minutes earlier. Again, not readily observable. It will never rise more than 17 degrees above the horizon. So it's tricky to see with the naked eye, except from a dark site, but should be visible with a pair of binoculars or a small scope. All right, so this is NGC 6388. It's a globular cluster. It's in Scorpius. We well placed in the evening. On the 16th, it reached its highest point in the sky. Subsequent evenings, obviously, it's going to be 4 minutes earlier. It's easy to see in the southern hemisphere again. From here, it will be faint and but it may be visible, and it's going to be extremely low on the horizon. So this may be a good one for either Jones Beach or Robert Moses. Yeah, kind
Can
of
you
like
put your,
Omega Centauri. I'm sorry?
can you put your laser up above that? There's 3 star, keep going. Okay, well, down just a little bit, little bit, and then a little to the left, just a little. Okay, that's maybe a little to the right. That's where a little more to the right. That's where M7 is, and then 6 is above it. So it's interesting because, oh, as Frank said, it's by the tail of Scorpius. But this view shows the teapot, so easy to find.
I was looking for stuff that says it's visible. So I would like to see if anybody actually does make it out there. And on the 16th. And if the weather's good, maybe I might join you. And it won't be long. I'm ending this section until probably the most photographed galaxy, Andromeda. And right now it's not up till early morning, but as the month goes on, it will start making its presence known earlier and earlier. So we'll just do an overview of some of the astrological events. And here's a little chart highlighting the open clusters that you might be interested in looking at, some galaxies, and then some globular clusters. And we have the calendar. And we'll just run that a little bit as well. And it kind of covers what we've talked about, what I've talked about. And this video will be up there, heavily edited. No, it'll be up there in a couple of days. So if you missed anything or have any other questions, I think that's about the end of it. And I am done.
Where did you find that calendar? Did you make that? Or is it
that is
online?
inthesky.org. Let me stop sharing. So yeah, all the information I get is from inthesky.org. And then I kind of take what their verbiage is, and then I go into Stellarium and I try to match it up. And unless I get the wrong globular clusters, it works fine. I see some chats. I couldn't see that regarding, okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? I thank you, Ken, for your contribution. Again, anybody willing to do a better job than me is more than willing, more than happy to give you the spotlight, and I'm very happy to do that. I guess we can end the recording at this point.
Okay, I'll do that.